Hey, welcome back, Mr. Smith Garage. In the garage with just Jack. 81 Vanagon air-cooled motor that actually fired up today for a split second. Oh, look at that. There's a vacuum line that's unplugged. Yeah, we got it fired. I think we got it fired on some gasoline straight into the airflow meter. We were trying to get oil pressure, and we just weren't getting oil pressure. I'll walk you through some of the things that we did. We pulled off the we went and bought gosh, where to start? Whew. It's been quite a day. So I'm sorry I didn't film most of this. Just Jim was here. I didn't want to waste his time. Thank you, Synchro Diesel Jim, because some of these things I just asked him to come over just to check out what was going on, and we worked on a little hole that's in the dash for oiling the airbox without taking the dash apart. So I'll show you where that's at. We punched that in, and so that's just a seal that goes over it. And while he was here, he's like, hey, you want to just start it up? And I'm like, oh, okay. So we ran down that rabbit hole. Couldn't get oil pressure. We weren't really getting any pressure here. We were able to just pour oil in here and it went straight in. So normally that's where the pressure side is, and it should build pressure. Went through a bunch of different things. Went down and got this pump and did a smoke test. You see, I got my cigar here. We had some other cigar. What was the other cigar we had? Maybe it was in this thing. Here we go. It was in this little glass tube. Dominican. So we had a Dominican cigar that we stuck in there, and pulled the smoke in through here. It came out through the crankcase. It also came out through the pushrod tubes. That's crankcase ventilation. And we just didn't feel like we were getting oil pressure. But it all comes down to how fast you can turn that oil pump, because just turning it with the starter doesn't really build oil pressure. But once it fired up, we got oil pressure. And so I was happy with that. We got oil throughout the whole engine. You could tell it ran good for the 5 seconds that it ran. But obviously we've got some, whether it's electrical, fuel injection, fuel pump, like we ran the fuel pump and made sure the fuel pump was working off of 12 volts, but it just wasn't quite working. And I think there's something that in the computer module that runs the airflow meter, that runs some of this electronics over here for California emissions, that runs the fuel pump, and just not working. We tried different coils. This is the coil that I had on there, which somebody told me was for a federal, but I think this is the one that I got for the California model, and this is a very similar one. I think they all work, although it ran on this one, and since then we've tried other coils and it has not run. So I think I'm going to put this coil back on, knowing that it actually ran with that one. And then I had to clean up all these tools, put this back into place where we can get Mrs. Smith's car back in here. We actually had this engine out. We were looking to see, like if we could check the oil pressure from this position, and it was doing the same thing that the other one was doing. We also, what else did we do? Oh, I pulled out the relief valve to make sure that the relief valve was working, and it's in there with the spring, and it slides back and forth just fine. So I don't know, a lot of people that have these air-cooled Vanagons have similar electrical problems, and I had it with Jill, the white Vanagon, where it just sometimes just didn't want to run. So anyway, we're going to try a couple different things. I do have another distributor I've got another double relay. I do not have the single relay or whatever that module is for the fuel. That's the one that I'm wondering if it's broken. I've got another one of those. I think I have another one of these. So that's one of the nice things about having multiple Vanagons, is that sometimes you need to do one part at a time and see if it's that part that's broken. Sorry, I'm making all kinds of noise. What else did we do on this thing today? Oh, we started looking at this cable. So I have this cable for one of the heater boxes. So on the cable that's in jack right now, this piece is broken off on this end, so I can't hook it up to that heater box. Well, it goes down this blue tube and all the way to the back, and I found all the little parts and pieces that go on to here. So I just need to pull that one out and shove this one down there. So I'm gonna run some, I don't know if I'm gonna run some Marvel mystery oil or something. I want to lube that blue tube so that when I pull the old one out, it'll go through there easier. Maybe some soapy water. Like I might get some soapy water and try and squirt it down through that tube so it soaks in there. Or maybe some lithium grease. I don't know. Lots going on with Jack. So, but sorry I did not film most of it. We were busy. That happens sometimes, you know, when you're filming, when you're a YouTuber. Jim was here, and so I just wanted to try to get some stuff done before he had to leave, and he was here for quite a while. So thanks again, Jim. And next time, I promise. And Jim, you got to hold me to it because I know you're a viewer. We'll try and get some video with Jim here working on stuff. I'm gonna drink some more Pepsi. Oh. I don't drink a lot of Pepsi, but just felt like one today. All right, let me get going on cleaning this up and putting everything away, and we'll be back with kind of a finale before we end this one up. All right, inside Jack here. One thing that I mentioned we were going to do is we have this cable. This is for the, you see I've got specific, there's the part number. You can see it says cable heater right, and this is for, I want to say it's probably 80, 81, 80, 81. I don't know if it goes any earlier than those, but basically I want to pull this cable out because this piece right here is broken off of my cable back at the back. You can see it's got that little piece in there, and then all these pieces came off the back. You can see there's kind of a white, I don't know if you can see that, the white piece. There's a washer that was inside. There's a little rubber thing that goes over something, and there's a clamp and another clamp there. Anyway, lots of stuff, but we're gonna try and get some soapy water in here. Let's see if this will work or not. We're gonna pour soapy water down the blue tube, and I'm hoping that that is gonna allow me to get that out a little bit better. I don't even know if you can see it going in there. If it's going in, what we're going to find is it's going to come out the other side at the end of the tube. That's what we want it to do anyway. Let's go see if it's coming out the other side. Okay. I don't see it coming out there yet, but you see up here this blue tube. That's where it's going to eventually come out. Okay. Let's go back up here and see if it's actually going where I want it to. Where'd my flashlight go? I just don't feel like you can actually see what's going on there. Now I got my sparkling water. Oh, so good. So when Jim was here, I don't think I drank anything. Didn't have any water or anything. We worked for a good couple hours straight. It's hot. So I'm just going and going and going. Okay, let's see. You can see what's going on here. Try and get this pointed at the right angle there so you can see it. Soapy water. Going right down that tube. Yep, it is making it. I see it going down the tube. Some of it's going outside the tube, and some of it's going inside the tube. Let's see if there's a place I can get this thing on a stand. Right there. Hopefully you can see what's going on. I'm going to try and trying to get most of it to go down this tube. It's hard to say. It looks like some of it's going on the outside, but some of it's going inside. That's inside. There we go. Alright, we're going to go underneath and see if we got any underneath here. Let's go. Okay, I don't see it leaking out the back yet, but oh, it just started leaking. Look at that. See that drip? Okay. So this is the blue line right here. So it's going all the way through here, and it just started dripping out the back. Okay, what I'm hoping is that will soak in there with some soapy water. It'll make it really easy to just pull that thing out all the way back up. Okay. Let's put our camera back here again and see. Oh yeah. Let's hope it goes back in as easy as it's sliding out of there, huh? There it is. There's all of it. Okay, what I'm doing now that you can't see is I'm unraveling, I'm unraveling this one. Okay, this is my end. This is the end that's going to go all the way through. I'm going to stick some more soapy water in there. this. I'm just feeding it through. Hopefully it will just go right back where it came. Uh-oh. My cable got stuck back there. Where did it stuck? There it is. There's a couple of bends there that might be a little tough. And it's moving. Come on. Got to figure out about where it's getting stuck. It's still moving. It's just not moving as easily as I'd like it to. See if we can get some more liquid soap down there. Huh. Okay. Gotta wonder if I'm actually making any progress. I think I am. We're gonna turn this off and keep going. Just had some kind of breakthrough wherever that rough spot was. It is now moving freely. And I feel like it just spurted a bunch of soapy water out the back. Perfect. Okay, so here's that little clip. I'm just going to put it right back on there. So that we don't lose it. Little clip. This guy goes on here, like so. And then the little clip goes back on. And let's go see what kind of mess we made underneath the car. Well, there we have it. A little bit of soapy water. That will evaporate up, and here is my new cable. So my heater boxes will work. Lovely. All right. Now I gotta move the vehicles back. Get it all set up. Mrs. Smith's car can fit in here. Whew, if I didn't say it already, thanks Jim for that idea of the soapy water with the cable. That went a lot easier than I expected it to. So I learned a lot from that guy, so appreciate it much, Jim. I know you're watching. Thanks. Okay, all is back as it should be. Ferdinand, we're waiting on seats coming back from Cottonwood Upholstery. Omar is doing those. I can't wait to show you. Omar does a great job and super excited. I do need to clean these carpets a little bit. Still trying to figure out how to do that. We used this battery quite a bit today. We were in the starter. Boy, we were firing away at it. So it is on that battery tender tonight. Charge it back up. We're gonna have to dig into, sorry for the noise on this, but we have to dig into the Bentley, figure out what's going on. We're getting oil though. that's a good thing. So oil's working. First thing we were thinking was maybe the oil pump was not hooked up to the cam or something, but when I rebuilt this engine, I felt like everything went back together just fine. The one thing that I was concerned about rebuilding this and not having Jill here, so I sold Jill and the electrical on a 81, 82 air-cooled California model. Something's going on here. So if you've had to go through this process same as me, give me some tips, because I wish I had Jill to see what was going on and just trade out parts and that type of thing. So you can see most people I find that have a California model don't have this deceleration valve for their, I don't know if I think this is the deceleration valve. This has something to do with the EGR, you know, and this whole spring levered thing or whatever. Anyway, I got one. I don't know if it's right, wrong, or indifferent. So it is hooked up, and when you pull on the accelerator, it does pull that EGR valve open. Maybe that's the problem. No, I don't think so. There's got to be something going on, whether it's the distributor, the Hall sensor, this this mechanism, which is not a relay. I'll have to look that up, see what it is. But and then this double relay. I've got another double relay right here, but I do not have this one. I have spares of these. I think I have one of these, and I have quite a few coils. But I know this coil, it fired. So we'll see what's going on. See what Mr. Bentley can tell me. I do have another computer too, so I always say, you know, I never fired this vehicle before. Bought it not running, and so some of these components could be bad. We just don't know. Even the airflow meter. Although most of the time these things aren't bad. So I do have a whole new wire loom in here. So hopefully everything's good. We can figure it all out. And we'll be back tomorrow or the next day to start it up, or next week. Ferdinand's running well. And then Mrs. Smith's beast is doing pretty good too. He's getting his final charge here for the day. I think I'm going to go sit out in the pool, try to cool down. It is, there I go, hitting that thing again. It is 99 degrees in the garage right now. 99. But it feels cool because it's a dry heat. So thanks for watching Mr. Smith Garage. We do appreciate your attendance to our program. And if you would like to subscribe, we're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of this month. 100,000. So let's see if we can do it. With your help, I can. And we'll move on. All right. Thanks again for joining. Thanks for the support. Goodbye.